Good Saturday morning, everybody. Chris Allen here on this June 24th, the SAM channel, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, all sponsored by your local Ace Hardware Marketplace, the helpful place, and the place to get weather radio if you need one. And if you don't have one, we might be looking at an opportunity for some strong to severe storms come tomorrow. Yeah, it's been a little bit since we've had to deal with severe weather, but everything that and when I say we, myself, the National Weather Service, local weather people, meteorologists, we're all looking at the same thing. The potential for some severe weather, especially tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening here in southern Kentucky and the surrounding areas. I'll touch on that in detail in just a minute. In the meantime, if you've got something you want to get done outdoors today, I think you're going to be just fine. Now, the satellite loop, there, by the way, there's no rain out there anywhere close to us. So I'm just showing the satellite loop to show you that Kentucky is kind of split right now this morning as of 5:50 a.m., 10 minutes before 6 as I record this podcast. You've got from Interstate 65 east, socked in with a lot of cloud cover and even some patchy fog. And then you go west, skies are mainly clear. There's some high drifting clouds, as you see with an area of low pressure over the Missouri boot heel. Most of these clouds that we're seeing this morning will dissipate or scatter as we get into the rest of the day today. Today is going to be a day where you can get outside and take care of things. And if it were me, if I had any outdoor furniture or anything like that, I would just go ahead and secure it today because tomorrow, not only are we looking at strong storms or maybe even some severe weather, but we're also looking at the potential for damaging winds and some hail. So take today to prepare for tomorrow. So you can see all these clouds here as they're moving more, drifting off to the east. And then these are high clouds that are just going to continue to just drift across the area. This low, not really much of a player in the game, but it's showing you how the upper flow, there are storms way up here into parts of the central plains. Those are the storms today that will be coming our direction from the northwest tomorrow and will set the stage for at least two waves of thunderstorm activity, one tomorrow morning, which I don't think will be severe, but it's the second wave that will come tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night that is going to be potentially severe. And I'll break down those details here in just a minute. All right, let's take a look at temperatures from the Kentucky Mesonet network this morning from all the reporting stations across Kentucky as of 10 minutes before 6 a.m. You can see that the temperatures are starting out mainly in the 60s. And here in southern Kentucky, yeah, low to mid 60s. The humidity levels, the dew points are in the 60s, so it kind of feels a little muggy this morning. It is definitely going to feel muggy as we go through the day, but as far as getting any storminess or any shower activity today, we're not going to see that. There were very few people that actually got a shower yesterday. I ran into one. It lasted all of 3 minutes, maybe. It just like sprinkles rain for like seconds, and then it was over. Of course, I was traveling, so I probably just got underneath it. It hit, and I was out of it in a matter of minutes. But there were very few, not even anything to measure yesterday as far as rainfall. All right, let's take a look at the 10-day blender, and we got some heat coming as we start the new month of July. Hotter than the 4th of July? Well, there's the 4th all the way at the end of that graphic. at the end of the 10-day scale, there's your 4th of July forecast. The 4th falls on a Tuesday. So 89 to 90, but it's the in between now and then that I'm really looking at. Look at Friday, like this coming Friday, the 30th, 95 maybe. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, it's summer officially, so, it is what it is. Saturday the 1st, 93, that's the day of Thunderfest out at the National Corvette Amphitheater. But you know what? This is pretty typical, really. This is typical of this time of the year. Um, so there you go. But today we're going to get close to 90. It's going to be warm. It's going to be muggy, but no uh, shower activity. I mean, if something pops up, it would be kind of far away from us. 91 tomorrow, and that's before, we get that 91 is conditional on the round one of rain in the morning and then the sun coming back up, or back out, I should say, in the middle of the day, reheating the atmosphere. We're likely to hit 90 or 91. Then the second wave of storms comes in tomorrow afternoon and evening. It's going to be one of those situations. With the passage of a cold front on Monday, we go to 87, then a cooler 84 on Tuesday, and then we just soar right back into the upper 80s to low 90s, and then there's that mid 90-degree temperature forecast for next Friday, the last day of June. Hotter than the 4th of July? It is going to be hotter than the 4th of July if that verifies. So, here we go. All right, let's get to the stormy setup here for us. And it's been a while since we've had to talk about stormy weather and severe weather, but I want to make sure you understand that most of this is conditional. And by that, I mean, if we get the round of storms tomorrow morning, it's not really if, but when we get the round of storms tomorrow morning, round one, whatever happens in between round one and round two with the cold front tomorrow evening, well, that will tell us how bad it's going to be. Okay. So let me show you step by step here what's going to happen. Here's right now. Here are the storms I was talking about that are occurring in the Central Plains. This is the energy that is going to be transported down into our area by tomorrow morning. Okay. So watch that as I put this into motion. So here we go through the day. Everything's fine for us. No shower activity. Everything is just pretty quiet. You see a redevelopment of those storms over the plains and the upper Midwest into this evening. And now we're starting to get into late tonight, early tomorrow morning. And notice how the jet stream takes this thing and nosedives it into our area by tomorrow morning. So when I'm doing this video tomorrow morning, there should be the first wave of showers and thunderstorms coming through. Now, these all look to be elevated. And by that, I mean warm front lifts all of that and takes most of the convection up over us. So, yes, there will be showers and thunderstorms, maybe some gusty winds, maybe a strong storm or two, but these are not surface based. In other words, these didn't come up because of the sun energy blowing them up. So these are all elevated thunderstorms and probably not severe. Probably. Never say zero, but I'll watch this tomorrow morning. But I think as you're getting ready for church or going to church, at church, some of these storms will be ongoing. That's wave number one. Okay. This is number one. Let me try to draw one here. Okay. So that's number one. That's tomorrow morning. Now, what happens between this and the next piece of energy that's going to come down in the same path will make all the difference in the world whether we get a you know, good round of severe weather tomorrow evening, afternoon, and evening, or are we getting not much of anything? So here's the way the models pan this out. That moves on. We get heat returns here, and this is where we could hit 90, 91 in a very muggy atmosphere. There's still a lot of moisture just laying here, waiting for a trigger. If the sun comes out, heats everything up, then we're in trouble as far as severe weather. If we can keep clouds in here from that first wave in the morning, that will bring down the threat level, bring down the instability, and maybe that second wave in the afternoon and evening won't be that severe. But that's a big question mark. Okay. I don't want you to focus on the ifs. I want you to be prepared for, let's go ahead and prepare for, this is going to be severe weather scenario tomorrow afternoon and evening. Let's just prepare for that. Weather radio's on. Keep everything up and charged, your phone and all ready to go, just in case, because the models are picking up on the energy being forced down and then developing new thunderstorms, as you see there, over parts of Arkansas, West Tennessee, and that is going to flow back with a little spin in the air back into southern Kentucky. So here we go, late tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. Look, that's not good. Now, this could be weaker depending on, as I said, how much cloud cover we can keep between the morning round one, and round two. If we can keep a lot of clouds in here, keep the kind of a rainy, overcast, damp kind of situation, we're okay. We'll be better. But, and here's the other thing I'm looking at. Look at that line going through parts of Mississippi into Alabama. That will be a squall line. This is more of um, a multi-scale event that could bring a lot of wind damage to whoever gets some of that, where the best instability is going to be. So there's damaging wind threat for us. There's even a low tornado threat, and there's also a hail threat. The hail threat has gone up a bit. So if the sun comes out tomorrow between wave one and wave two, look out for large hail. But if we can keep it quiet, keep it cloudy between one and two waves, not the time period, but one and two, then maybe we won't have as great a hail threat or tornado threat. So this energy, if this model is correct, a lot of the energy is going to go south and east of us, the best potential energy. And if that's the case, it would rob us of the worst of the weather. But then there's the other line of thinking. I saw another model which kept the worst of the weather up here along the Ohio River into northern Kentucky. So this is where the models come into disagreement as to how this is going to play out. The unknown here is, of course, how much sun energy are we going to get between wave one and wave two? So you see why this gets complicated, and why sometimes the confidence in what's going to play out is not really known. Not right now. We got to let this, as I say, bake a little longer because it's not done. We got to see how, but you see how these lines now, all of this starts to connect. And this is when it's going to become more linear, and it's going to become more of a wind damage threat, heavy rain, and hail threat. Maybe there could be some spin ups along that line that you see there as we get into tomorrow evening. But then we start to lose the daytime heating, and how much of this stays together is the question. Okay. So there it is into late tomorrow night and into early Monday. And then the cold front is still back here. It's going to be all of this is prefrontal. And there's going to be another wave of showers as we get into Monday. Now, I know I took a long time to explain that, but I wanted you to know how this is going to play out. And really, I'm looking at by this time tomorrow morning, showers with wave one will be here. Then it's going to be, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, or even maybe later before that second wave comes in. So we're looking at late afternoon into the evening hours when that happens. Okay, let's take a look at the threat updated from the National Weather Service this morning. They have us in that level 2 yellow. That's a slight risk for severe storms. It covers a pretty wide area. In fact, it covers the majority of the state of Kentucky for mainly tomorrow afternoon. And you see here their confidence meter is in the medium to almost high category. It's kind of leaning right of the center of the medium confidence. Damaging winds, large hail. You see there, large hail. Primary threats, tornadoes also possible. Now, I want to look at this next map that they showed us, or graphic that was sent to all of us this morning, all of us weather people to look at. Here's the tornado threat. It does include Bowling Green and much of southern Kentucky, right up I-65. It's in the 5 to 9% probability. So it's not zero, but 5 to 9% chance of a tornado. Now, you may think, well, that's pretty low, but yes, but we've had some pretty decent tornadoes, even in the 2%, which is the green, before 5 to 9%. So that's a little bit higher than, you know, it's not zero. So I want you to know that if we get a lot of sun and we get a lot of energy between round 1 and 2 tomorrow, tornadoes are on the table. I'm just telling you right now that it's a 5 to 9% possibility. Okay. Large hail, not only are we in the 15 to almost 30% area, but it's hatched. We say these little lines in here. Significant hail is possible from Bowling Green to Paducah to Madisonville to E-Town to Owensboro to Louisville. In other words, up to 2 inches in diameter. That's large hail. We're talking about, golf ball size hail is a possibility tomorrow with any of these storms in the afternoon and evening. In the morning, there could be maybe some pea-size hail or small hail. But in the afternoon, this is when we could see large hail developing. And then severe wind, damaging wind threat is 15 to almost 30% in that same area. So we've got a lot of threats to look at tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening conditionally. All of this is conditional on how much sun energy and instability we can build between tomorrow morning's tamer storms and then the round 2 of storms, most likely severe, in the afternoon and evening. Okay. I hope that's clear to you. This is the threat that we're looking at. And I want you to be keenly aware of what's coming if it should develop that way. Now, of course, with this update tomorrow morning, I'll have a little bit of a clearer picture, more clarity as to what's coming. Okay, finally, let's go through the charts real quick. Surface map showing a quiet day today. We start to get into this evening. This system on the east will try to paint in a little bit of shower activity. Actually, some of this is that leftovers from the old low that has been with us all week long. It's still out there. So it's going to throw back a little bit of moisture into eastern Kentucky today, but we should be fine. Here comes our system, and we have to watch this because the triple point here is what we're looking at. Warmer air, the warm boundary coming in, the cold front, and then this occlusion where the low wraps around itself. That way, this is telling because it's got enough vorticity, it's got enough energy to wrap around itself, and it becomes what we call occluded. So let's watch what happens here. This evening. We start to see showers and thunderstorms to the west of us, some far to the east with that old system. We're still in between and good all day today and tonight. No rain. Should not be any rain anywhere close to us. Then tomorrow morning, here comes round one. Around this time tomorrow morning, showers and a few thunderstorms. There may be some severe weather north of us. This is closer to midday. Again, this will be about when round one ends, and then round two will start to get going into the afternoon and evening hours. It's what happens in between the warm front and the cold front. Round one, round two, of how bad round two is going to be. The front, though, doesn't come through till about late morning to midday tomorrow. That's when everything will shut off. By Tuesday, there's a little trough that swings through, may still bring us a shower. And then as we get into Wednesday, quiet, but here comes another system out of the south central plains and some overrunning moisture, which will bring us some showers back in here by Wednesday night into Thursday with kind of a dirty high here. Dirty high meaning it's contaminated with some overrunning moisture. It's not very strong to keep us dry. It's just kind of sitting there, but we could still get some showers. And these would be mainly afternoon and evening showers Thursday, and then into Friday, we may be looking at another system that would come in for the end of next week, which could bring us yet more severe weather. It's crazy. I know. All right. The high yesterday for Bowling Green, 82, the average 88. So we were 6 degrees below average, but we are still 4 and almost 4/10, 4.4 inches below normal on rainfall. So I hope we can get some beneficial rain out of this system and we can not have to worry about the severe weather. But the severe weather right now is on the table. It's confidence is in the medium category. We'll just have to watch and see how this plays out. I know I took almost 23 minutes with this podcast this morning. If you've watched all the way to the end, God bless you. We would never have this kind of time on television to talk about this. Never, never. It just doesn't happen. So that's why I'm doing this. I want to explain it to you in detail. Sometimes it takes time to explain how all this is going to play out, but I wanted to know layer by layer, time period by time period, how this thing could play out tomorrow. All right. This is your official heads up. Okay, got it? Good. All right, you guys have a great Saturday. Enjoy the day, the dry day ahead. It will be warm and muggy with a high today near 90. God bless you. Thank you for watching. And I'll be right back here with another update, fresh information around this time tomorrow morning.